I saw this design from Justin on Twitter and I was like, wow, this should be animated inside of Framer. So here's how I turned that static design into this animated masterpiece without writing a single line of code. So for this effect, we only need 3 elements in Framer: a metal card, a wallet, and the 3D hover component from Framer University. So once we have all of these, we can just move the wallet onto our canvas and then move the 3D hover component inside of the wallet. I'm going to set the position to absolute. I'm going to position it in a way that it looks nice. Now that we have this, we can just connect the metal card to this 3D hover component. So now we have the base. Let's turn this into a component and start creating the interaction. We're going to have multiple variants. First is going to be the primary variant that we're going to call default. Then I'm going to click here to create a new variant. I'm going to call this one mid start. And here all we do is we move the card up from the wallet. Then we click again on variant to create the last variant. It's going to be called end. Here we move the card back to the center. We make sure that the z-index of the card is a little bit larger, so it's above the wallet, and I'm going to also scale it up slightly so it's going to be easier to hide the wallet with this card. But in order to successfully do it, I have to also set the front and the back to a smaller scale so they are nicely hiding behind the card. So now that I have all of these variants, how can I make sure that when I click default, I go to mid start and then roll over to the end variant? We're going to click and connect from default to mid start. The interaction will happen on click. Then we're going to remove this interaction from the mid start and end because it's added, because we added it to the primary variant and it's added everywhere else. Then from mid start, we want to automatically roll over to end, which is achievable with the appear trigger. However, we have to set the delay to 0.7 so we leave time for the animation of the mid start variant. So if I take a look at this, if I click the default, it goes to the mid start and then rolls over to the end where I can nicely hover this card, and because of the 3D hover component, it's going to nicely look 3D. Now to go back from end to the default, we have to create an additional variant. We're going to duplicate the mid start, just grab it and put it down here. We're going to call this mid back. And instead of the appear effect taking us to the end variant from this mid back, it is going to take us back to the default. And one other important change is making sure that the card on the mid back is still having a larger z-index, so it's still over the wallet. So now if we connect the end to the mid back on click direction, it is going to work perfectly.